Meeting. Is there anybody besides Lake Cam recording? Hearing none, we'll start with announcements. Peter, do we have any announcements?
Oh, just a few items that might be of interest. Just so you know, the Meeting House Church did not go to the Clear Palm Park 2 weeks ago. They were rained out, so they chose not to do that. They had their baptism at their church. Pagan Pride had their event, and they also sent an email thanking us and saying that this was the last year. They're not doing it anymore. And then finally, there is a new, I think, DPW worker. His name is, for parks, his name is Ryan Moore.
Yep. Out of all the people, we got another Ryan.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, number 2, review and vote to approve Park Commission minutes for September 11th. I wasn't here, so did anybody see any errors, corrections, or omissions?
I wasn't here.
I didn't see any.
No.
All good. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 11th, 2025 meeting.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 All aye. Motion minutes accepted. Number 3, discuss and possible vote on capital requests, an updated 5-year plan due for submission on October 3rd, 2025. Okay, so in our packet, we have this one from the town administrator. And last month they gave this to us and said that it was due next week. So Peter also enclosed what is currently in our plan that only goes to 3 years. The Clear Pond Park basketball courts, Clear Pond Park playground equipment, and Ted Williams Camp skate park improvements. That looks pretty good because those are all things that we're gonna have to work on and that we need. We also need other things. I'd like to see all the lighting redone. The baseball fields need new lighting, and the horseshoes needs new lighting. Our office needs a handicapped accessible ramp and new windows and other small things, but those are the big things. So I don't know if you have any ideas of what you'd like to put in there, what you'd like to see done, what you think needs to be done at the parks that we need to put on the capital plan. Keeping in mind that whatever is on this capital plan comes out of our money. Like the town doesn't pay for these because we're not a department. So we can't have like a $500,000 thing, 'cause we'll never fund that. Any ideas?
I think, I don't know, the park's only open 3 months out of the year.
Clear
so-
Pond?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, so 50,000 for the basketball court? 50,000, is it?
100.
100.
It's
The-
a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so the one that I just gave you guys was an estimate that I got last year and had submitted and asked for ARPA money to redo the basketball court. But we obviously didn't get it, so I think it was like $60,000. So a little bit less, but still not overly less. Yeah, so, and that's been kind of the big thing, why not a lot of improvements have happened at Clear Pond, because that's always the thing, it's only open 10 years, why would we put money into something that's only open 10 weeks? So, and it doesn't make money, so, but if you don't put any money into it, then it's gonna just be more of a money suck than it already is, so it's a kinda,
When
which
I
way do
was-
you go?
Yeah, through you, when I was looking at all this stuff, I was reminded of what Bob Nunes, when he was here the meeting that was had about the budget and all that, and I remember him saying very pointedly, you've gotta make money, the parks they've gotta generate some money, so that's what I'd like to see. I would like to see some kind of activities that do generate money, and you know, I can't say that I've come up with a lot, but I think that's the direction we need to go in.
Right. And I don't disagree with that. The only problem with that is, well, I know I just sent you guys the final draft of the Clear Pond engineering plan this afternoon, so I'm sure you didn't have the time to really look at it. But the new, yeah, so those are the figures. The new bathhouse slash snack shack slash big community room would be big enough and have everything you need to do a summer program, but that's $600,000. So again, that's not going to be anything we do tomorrow.
So this would be separate from like what we were talking about with the John Pond Park engineering as well?
Yeah, so this is all Clear Pond. The John Pond Park engineering plan is with Zenith Engineering currently, and they're taking care of their end for right now, and then we'll go back and forth.
Well, so just to clarify, these are like littler things, right, that we wanna do with our budget. Like
Right.
John Pond, like rehab is like, we're hoping to get like big grants or something.
Right. And the same with Clear Pond. It's just, these were things that we had in the 5-year plan before the Clear Pond Park engineering study was done.
Yeah.
And so just things that we knew we needed. Because the same thing you could put down here, the playground at John Pond Park, because you know that's something we're gonna need. We need now, never mind in the next 4 or 5 years.
What
But you
about-
can't put a playground in at John Pond Park if we're having an engineering study to redo all of the drainage and rip everything up, because that wouldn't make sense.
Right. So what about, like, are the volleyball courts fine? Nothing needs to be redone there?
On our Ted Williams volleyball courts?
Yeah,
Yeah, they got new lights last year,
okay.
and they got new sand, last year or the year before.
And what about the dugouts for baseball? Are they,
I don't know the answer to
The
that.
wood's pretty rotted around the top, but that's like really small. I mean, is that how small, like a type of a budget we can have, like repairs
Well, I
of
mean, we-
dugouts?
Yeah, so if it's under $10,000, it doesn't really go in the capital plan. That's something we just scrape together. Whatever we have left at the end of the year. Say if we have $10,000 left, we say, all right, do the dugouts. But we have all the fields need to be redone.
Heavily.
yeah, and if you're gonna, you know, invest in fields, you want the whole place to look nice, right?
Right.
So maybe I don't know, I haven't been over there in a while, like, my son's stopped playing baseball there for a while, but like, maybe the dugouts could be spruced up. I don't know, or is there fencing that needs to be replaced over there? And, you know, obviously that's part of John Pond, like new fencing
Right.
because of the fly ball issue and stuff.
Yeah, the dugouts were definitely in tough shape, like all the wood around. I was there like last week walking around.
Okay.
And definitely the wood is rotted up there, and then the fields are very overgrown as far as like into where the
Right, so what
the
happens
dirt
is,
should be.
yeah, so we just keep dumping new field mix down. So then it pushes up into the field. So then there's like a 3-inch gap between the base path and the field. So it needs to all be like cut back and redone,
Yeah.
but not an easy, cheap process.
No. So I think that would be a good one, and maybe it drives more action from the baseball leagues to using Ted Williams.
New dugouts, huh? They're gonna revitalize the park, Andrew. Okay. I know there was talk about a new batting cage. I think. What's his name, Andrew? Field 4.
The samurai guy?
Yes. It's escaping me right now, but I know he was planning on doing a new batting cage because he does a big improvement every year.
Yeah, that cage has been the same for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, so I
I
know
use those batting cages.
that was on his list to do next.
I have a hard time thinking that this renovating the mini golf for $25,000, that's a hard one to swallow for me.
I don't, that miniature golf course is on cement slabs. So I don't believe it's gonna cost $25,000. That's what the engineering people do. I know that, the director of Clear Pond used to maintain that yearly, but it has been, nothing's been done for 3 years at least. So it just needs some tender loving care, TLC. And maybe other things. I think the $25,000 was other things to do put on it. So like a windmill or a, I don't know.
$25,000 though?
That was the figure that the engineering plan team came up with. I have not priced that out.
I'd like to see some of it. I mean, we just came to the understanding that we finished out this season $4,000 in the hole, and I feel
Well,
like,
no, that was $4,000 above the budget we had given the director. So the director of Clear Pond went over his budget by $4,000. We lost $30,000 on Clear Pond this year.
all the more reason. I feel like we have to bite the bullet. I feel like some sacrifices are gonna have to be made. I will say that, those beach mats, I was just down Cape at, the Coast Guard
They're
beaches.
amazing, aren't they?
They're wonderful. They're wonderful, and they make it really safe for people, and they make it accessible for people. I think those are a good investment, and I think that we should cut from other areas like the mini golf. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, the beach, not necessarily the beach mats, but probably the beach mats. Some accessible way to get from the parking lot to the beach, from the beach to the water. That's a non-negotiable. Those are one of the first things that would have to be done on that plan. So the miniature golf, probably not so much. That's something that we can do maybe ourselves.
Yeah, at the 1,600.
Yeah.
What you were saying about a structure where crafts and activities could happen, that sounds like the closest thing to an income generating proposition. So I say bookmark that. Let's talk some more about that because
Right. But that can't come from us. We don't have $600,000. That's got to come from the town or a grant or free cash or,
Where did the figure of $600,000 come from?
again, the engineering firm. All those numbers right there, they all came from the engineering firm,
See, I don't trust that.
except tree
I
removal
don't
that
think
came
it's
from
very
me.
far off. I mean, you're talking about building a building.
Right.
Yeah, publicly.
And so
Exactly.
You have to pay the public rates.
that's
Yeah,
their
oh yeah,
estimate.
prevailing wage, yeah.
Talking,
Which doubles any labor that you got.
Yeah,
does.
I know, I just, we gotta see our way through to making some money with that.
Right. But for right now, we have a 5-year plan we have to do. So if you would like to cut any of these figures or scooch them back and add something else in the front, I'm happy to do so.
What about the basketball courts at Ted Williams? I know you replaced the backboards recently, but like, does the whole thing need to be resurfaced?
Nope, it was resurfaced 2 years ago,
Okay,
and the tennis courts were 3 years ago.
okay.
We had CARES money and then ARPA money, so that's what tennis courts were done with that, and the basketball court was done with that, and the skate park was a capital project from years ago. So what happens is we put Clear Pond Park, just say basketball courts, fiscal year 2027.
Right.
So this goes in front of the committee, and the committee says, yes, they should do the basketball courts for $100,000. And then that money gets taken out of our retained earnings and put into a separate basketball court fund.
Right.
So it just sits in that basketball fund until we
can
spend
only
it on the
use that.
basketball court.
Yeah.
And then once we do the basketball court, if we don't need it anymore, it goes back into our retained earnings, whatever's left.
About these bathrooms that keep clogging.
Knock on wood, since we've switched from 2-ply to 1-ply, we haven't had a problem.
anything.
How about these hammocks? Can we do without $2,500 worth of hammocks?
No, focusing on this now.
Okay, that went out.
Are there any, I know soccer does a lot of their own, they were at the last meeting talking about redoing the fields themselves, like, but are there any, like, do we supply the nets to any of these sports, or are there things like that that should be replaced?
We do not supply the nets
Okay,
to any of the sports. I'm not opposed to it. It's just has not been done before.
okay,
And that may be something that we could probably handle, depending on the net's cost.
Yeah, so a soccer net is $2,000. Wasn't it $2,000? Because Peter was gonna go out in his backyard and start making them.
Yeah. Some string, $2,000. Wow.
what about,
Each. So you need two.
So the batting cages is not going to be us. Is it planned separately?
Right. So yeah, they the samurai coach, and I can't believe it's escaping me. He takes care of it with his league.
Okay.
Kind of like everybody, like soccer's doing the field, softball
Right.
does the dugout,
Right.
softball everybody tries to chip in a little bit to make improvements where they can.
The soccer fields get used a lot, and the baseball fields get used a lot. The basketball courts at Clear Pond, not so much. Maybe that could be sacrificed.
well, it doesn't mean we have to do this.
No.
We're just making a plan.
Right. So this was the plan 3 years ago. This was our 5-year plan
Yeah.
to do next year. And I think we probably just put $100,000 in because we had no idea what it was going to cost. But I think $50,000. I think it would be fine.
Is there
Still a lot of
any,
money.
so I haven't really walked around Commissioner's Field, is there anywhere over there to put like a smaller size playground to entertain younger siblings?
Mhm.
While families are
Yeah,
at
there's room.
games? Cause I feel like that's a place where, like if a kid wants to go over to the new playground, the parents probably not gonna let them walk
Yeah,
over there, it's too far.
They would not be able to do that. No.
Yeah, maybe that's something.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we just got this for this meeting and it's due before our next meeting. So we can't, no matter what else we do tonight, we can't leave here without this being done.
Okay, so I'll pitch playground at Commissioner's Field.
All right. For an amount of money.
I have no idea how much that costs. I know it's not cheap.
No, they could go anywhere from, well, millions, but
I don't.
25,000 to 200,000.
I don't think it has to be huge.
No.
Because you have the bigger, brand new one.
Over
Just
here.
some little thing to entertain kids. So, I don't know. 50,000, 75,000.
I think you're gonna
75 's
not,
really good.
because looking at the literature that company, the guy who we met over at John Pond,
Ultiplay.
looking at their products, you're not gonna get something even small, and I was surprised, but 75 or 100,000.
Okay.
But
We have they have sales, right? So twice a year they send out a sale flyer. The problem is you have to, if it's more than $10,000, you have to go out to bid and get estimates and stuff. So it's hard to do that with the sales. But the sales can be like half price. So maybe if we get like a piece this year and a piece in 2 more years.
yeah, build it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think those are a good investment because a lot of people do have 2 or 3 kids and one will be playing sports and they've got a younger one who is just crawling up the walls. They need something to do. I think that's a good idea.
So would you like to put that under fiscal year 2027? Since it's not
I think that's reasonable.
a piece. All right, so we'll do 2027, a playground piece. at Commissioner's Field. And what if we do 25,000 for this piece and 25,000 for the next piece?
Yeah. You
Okay.
can see if it's a hit too. Right? Oh, people are loving that piece. They just need another one.
Or if nobody uses it, but I'm sure that they will.
Cool. All right. So what else we talked about? So
All right, so do you want to do the second piece the next year or the year after that?
28.
The 28. The same. And this doesn't mean that if we find a piece for $30,000, we can't put in the extra $5,000.
Right.
Or if we decide we have enough to do both pieces,
Right.
we can do both pieces and reevaluate this again. All right, so
instead of the dugouts, would you do the field overhaul? Like you're saying, that's a big undertaking. It's like up Ted Williams Camp Fields.
yep.
I don't know how much that would cost really, but a lot of landscaping.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe 10 grand a field, something like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, because we discussed it when Ryan was here, and we don't even know, like, who does that. Like, I don't know how to redo a field. Do you know how to redo a field? Like, it hasn't been done in forever
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure
So-
there's landscapers that
That-
specialize in
in
that type of
baseball
stuff.
fields.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like sport fields probably in general.
Mhm.
Right? That would know exactly how to do it.
And then the only thing is, do we bump that up before the playground? Do we put that at 2029?
The kids play baseball, enough of them that we probably should bump it up before the playground. It's my gut feeling. As much as I love little kids on playgrounds, the boys need to play baseball. And the girls.
I mean, it seems so we could basically treat it the same way. You do a couple fields
A
one year
field a
and then
year.
a couple fields the following year.
Well, I think you almost need to, anyways, because they're probably gonna need to like
Sit.
Yeah, stay off.
sit for a little bit. So
Yeah, just like the soccer fields.
yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you do like like the same thing, like 25 and 25. Like that.
Yeah.
Probably get 2 fields done for 25, I'd hope.
I have no idea. So do that in 29 and 30. 2 fields. What if we do 1 field a year and we just take it out of pay for it? Or we put this down now and then we reevaluate. I find out how much it's gonna cost to do a field.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the what's the total for per year that you can do? Or you just
Oh, you
a
can,
lot.
yeah, however much we have in retained earnings. You don't know how much we have, no.
Because 28, we're going for right now 175. 27, 125. So you mix that around. Do like 150 and 150.
Say that again.
Like right now we're at 125 for 2027, right? Because we have the playground and then
No, so the,
basketball courts.
we have the playground, but the basketball courts would come off. They would be removed. It's not all, it's an either or.
Okay.
Cause we only do 1 capital project a year.
Alright, gotcha. Okay. In that case.
Well, what was this 50K for the skate park?
So when we redid the skate park, we only had, I don't know, it was like $15,000. So we leveled the transitions. We wanted to do a new skate park, and we applied
So it's
to the
like
select
new
board for ARPA
equipment?
money to
Yeah.
redo that, and they said no. So what we did was we took that $15,000 that was sitting, and we leveled the transitions, and we resurfaced the
Right.
skate park. So that
This will
This-
be to replace it. Okay.
or add a piece.
Or something. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did I hear that last
When
meeting
we
we were
got-
talking about painting
Yeah,
the
It
skate
didn't
park
really come up, well, no, we were talking about we had a little money left
in that account.
in that account, but then Peter sent an email that an artist had reached out.
Yeah, Jamie. He did reach out.
But
I
it-
would like to see the kids do the mural and not an artist, because I think if the kids do like if we have a day and we put out the paints and the spray paints and say, all right, tag this mural,
Yeah,
and then put it up, they're less apt to do
vandalize
it.
their own
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah. But I would, before I leave, I would like to paint the actual structures.
Mm-hmm,
It's on my list of things to do before I go.
okay. So we have nothing for 31.
Nothing, 31. I mean, we can push the skate park one down. We can, hopefully by fiscal year 2031, the clear pond will be done.
Well, then we
redone.
probably should put the basketball courts back in for like 30 or something, right? At Clear Pond? Or are you now saying like we're trying to get grant money to do that?
Well, we'll try to get grant money to do that. There's a CPC application that has to be
Yeah,
filled
it's
out.
It's part of this too, right, the engineering plan?
Yeah,
Right, but somehow that still needs money. That's just like, here's a wish list.
right.
Gotcha, okay.
Oh yeah, there's no, this is how much it's gonna cost, but nobody's got any money to do it, so. That way you can, it's another thing that you chip away at a little bit at a time. Cause they have one-stop grants, which is what, way back when, we were looking for to do this, and to do Betty's Neck and to do John Pond Park. That's $500,000 just in one shop, so.
I think that if we put in an application for the basketball courts at Clear Pond, I think it's gonna come up that it's only open 3 months. I mean,
Yeah.
we can put in an application, but I do think that's gonna,
Yeah, anything with Clear Pond, that's the question,
Yeah.
right?
right, is
So
it,
I think if it's important to everybody to like revamp that and bring it back from rotting into the ground, then we should put it in the out years here.
Okay.
And maybe like the playground equipment at John Pond Park, when that gets redone, is more likely to be funded by CPC. Hopefully.
I think they would be, because that's there all year, but you never
Right.
know.
Right.
All right, so 2031, which seems so far away. 50, well, it'll probably be more than that. $70,000 for the basketball court, basketball, volleyball.
And I think the skate park, we can
At
push
Clear
out to
Pond.
2030.
Keep pushing.
Take-
All right, this is what I have on my list. 2027, a playground piece at Commissioners Field for 25,000. 2028, I have another piece of a playground for 25,000 at Commissioners Field. 2029, I have the baseball field overhaul, 2 fields for 25,000. And 2030, I have overhaul 2 more fields at Ted Williams Camp for 25,000. In 2031, I have $70,000 to redo the basketball, volleyball courts at Clear Pond Park. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I motion that we submit that as our capital plan for the next 5 years.
Just one question. So the Clear Pond Park playground equipment fell off. Is that a problem?
No,
Okay.
no, we'll get it somehow.
If CPC is not likely to give us money for it. Okay.
We'll dig it up, or we didn't have one this year, so.
All right. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All aye. Our 5-year capital plan has been updated. While we're on this, we need to think and make notes. We meet again in 2 weeks, and time really flies by, especially because we're not very busy this time of year, so we kind of like let things go. We need to put a plan together of what we want to see at each park in the next 10 years. I know it seems like irrational. I won't be here. You probably won't be here. Maybe Andrew will be here with his
dead.
kids. 10 years isn't that long. Just because that will give us guidance on how we want to do this. If we want to cut Clear Pond so it's only open half time and just for swimming, then that's fine. If we want to make it a day camp, then that's fine. Same with Ted Williams Camp. If we want to put up another building and do summer classes, whatever. But those are things that have to be down the road and they have to be planned for, because we can't have any summer programs here or any programs at Ted Williams Camp because we have nowhere to put kids in case of lightnings or a storm or anything. So though it's not even an option for us to have.
Yeah. I think the overall idea of the building that you talked about, where activities could take place that would be safe,
Right.
that would also generate income,
Right.
would serve the town well, and you wouldn't be having that conversation about.
Right. And just because it's at Clear Pond and Clear Pond Beach is only open for 10 weeks, doesn't mean you couldn't have the summer program there in the spring, summer, and the fall. You would either just not do
Extend it.
swimming or bring in lifeguards and maybe do boating and bring in a specialist like that. There's a lot of options and there's a lot of different things. We just have to, this is what I want to see, and then we have to figure out how to get there. All right. So put that on the agenda for next week, Peter. Just kidding, don't do that. Okay, next on the agenda, discuss possible Community Preservation Act projects to the Park Commission may apply for. Applications are due October 9th. So I gave you 2 papers, the one with all of the Clear Pond Park engineering figures. So if there was anything on that list that you would like to pick and apply for. And I gave you the volleyball course, the miniature golf course, and the ADA beach mats. I meant to swing by and measure how many 50-foot long beach mats we would need, and I didn't get to. I forgot. So a 50-foot, 5-foot wide beach mat was, I think it was $2,400. Back of one of mine. Nope. $2,400, and we would definitely need. I don't even know how many we would need. Probably 4, 5. 250 feet. I don't know. I would have to measure.
They're 2,500 each?
Yeah, for the 5-foot ones. There's a 3 1/4 foot one for $1,600. But I know the walkways, ADA walkways, have to be 5 feet. So it kind of seems silly that they
Why
had
did they even
3
make a
1/4
3
one.
1/4 one?
So we can do that, or anything else you think that we need. I don't believe CPC will pay for dugout repair.
I'm not sure about that. Let's see. I sent everybody the guidelines. Did you all get it as an email?
I did get it, but it came late this afternoon. Is when I saw it. So or if you don't want to put in an application for anything this year and we just sit on it and we wait until next season, which is, this is what, fall? So in the spring, I think they do it twice a year.
There's so much going on with all these other things. Personally, I would recommend holding off. The other advantage to that is the thing with CPC is like a bank of money. And if you just keep taking it out for this and that, and, oh, it's application time, so let's get an application, and if it's constantly being depleted, it never builds. It's like a bank account, so,
Right.
the more you save, the more money's in there, and the larger the project is that you have the opportunity to apply for.
You're not wrong. But the other side of that is just because you're not going to apply for anything and you want to let the money grow doesn't mean everybody else has that same mentality, because we're not the only ones who pull from that account.
That's a very competitive way to look at it, and I would discourage you from doing that, because it is a community.
It is a community.
And there's housing, there's the historic, there are all these different interests. And if everybody's gonna just grab, it's gonna get depleted real quickly. I think we have to really be mindful of how we're thinking about these applications. So that's just that's my
No,
feeling
like I
about
said,
it.
you're not wrong. But I know the Open Space Committee is also thinking about submitting something.
That's so, yeah, they're
So
always
are we
gonna
out
be-
of code, like, were we out of code this summer at Clear Pond for not having those mats?
We are out of, we don't
Like
comply with the
ADA.
Disabilities Act, yes. We do have a handicapped accessible wheelchair that
Okay.
can go on the sand, so, and into the water. So it's not, yes, it's not the code that the ADA would like us to see, but we do have a way to access the water.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I think if we're gonna need the mats, it doesn't hurt to put in an application for them.
How large is the normal, I guess, application?
Allotment?
Yeah.
There is no limit. I think there's $500,000 in the account, so you have that limit. But it's whatever you need. I don't know what the open space and recreation pot has in it. Do you have any idea, Noel?
I do not. I would ask open space, reach out to them and ask them.
Well, open space doesn't. They don't know.
I'm not sure. You could ask Sue. But if you want to put an application in, I think that those mats are a good investment. Bring us up to code with ADA.
And I think, I mean, compared to the allotment, I think it's a small request, so.
Yeah. Okay, I will go
So-
and
Yeah, you can measure.
measure them, and if it's less than, what's the limit that you want to apply for?
Well, I think just doing round numbers, if they're 2,400 each, 10 of them would be 24,000, right?
So that's
And I don't
500
think
feet.
We need 10.
No. So if it's less than 10 mats that we need, we'll apply for it. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I think less than like a total of 20,000. I guess that would be. I
Pond
guess that'd
isn't
be
that
basically
big. I can't imagine needing 10 of them.
500 feet? I don't know. Like, I've never measured
Yeah.
the beach.
We need to measure it and
Yeah.
figure out what we need.
Yeah. But we don't have a meeting between, right? We don't have a meeting. When is our next meeting?
2 weeks.
9th, I think.
Sorry, this is my life.
It's the 9th.
And isn't that when this is due?
This
Yes.
is due before.
It's due on
that
October
day,
9th.
yeah.
So if you say, if it's less than 200 feet, 500 feet, did we say? 50
Five.
times 10, so
500.
Yeah,
less than 500 feet, apply for it.
Sure.
Okay.
You need a motion for that?
No, because it's not on here. This is just the first step, right? So we can withdraw or amend for the second step.
There's step 1, and then there's step 2 of the application. And I'd encourage you, I emailed everybody a copy of CPA to, for all the details,
Right.
to answer your questions.
Yeah, because it gets a little nitty gritty and yes or no or gray areas.
And I'm sure that, you can always say, we want to apply for this. I have a question. I mean, they're more than willing to answer those questions,
Right.
during the process too. Their website is great.
I do have a CPC question. Is Nancy always going to be our liaison, or for each project is that going to switch?
That's a good question. Now Nancy was assigned for the JPP engineering.
Engineering thing.
She was assigned for that. I was a little confused about that. I didn't realize that. I didn't know if I was the liaison. So that got clarified for me. I believe every project gets assigned.
Gets their own.
Now, Nancy, you may see often, you may see her frequently because she's knowledgeable about different
Oh,
things,
absolutely.
more so than me, but,
Nancy knows just about everything.
yeah, and you may see other people being assigned as the liaison, and I'll
Yep.
we'll see as it goes forward.
Okay. Okay. Discuss number 5. Discuss and possible vote to extend service for 1 year on Windows 10 computer for use at Clear Pond Park in 2026. So this year, in October, all of our computer systems are no longer supported by Windows. So Peter got a new computer, his ThinkPad right here that he loves so much. So our old computer, if we add the extra 1 year, we can send that computer to Clear Pond so they can do their inputs and everything right there
Yeah.
with the like $65 or $100 that it's going to cost for that year, and see if it's worth it before we go out and buy another computer.
Makes sense.
So,
I think it's $68 is what Bob McNally said, I think.
okay, so
It's
somewhere,
under 70.
So I make a motion that we spend that on the Windows 10.
Windows 10
Second.
update, Carrie second. Okay, any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect.
Who seconded that?
Carrie did. Perfect. That, number 6. Number 6, discuss and possible vote on who is authorized to bunker rake at John Pond Park. So, years ago, they tell me, it was before my time, that the bunker rake used to live at John Pond Park. So we had one at John Pond Park to do the softball fields, and we had one at Ted Williams Camp to do the Ted Williams Camp fields. So since I've been here, that bunker rake has just been sitting in the maintenance shed in the back, and nobody's used it. Because in order to bunker rake at John Pond Park, one of our staff members has to go to the DPW, find a trailer that nobody's using, come back to Ted Williams Camp, load up the new bunker rake, well, the Ted Williams Camp bunker rake, bring it over to John Pond Park, do everything, bring it back to Ted Williams Camp, drop it off, bring the trailer back to the DPW, and then come back to, so it was like hours out of the day. And this past year, we've only had one staff member, more or less, for a lot of the year. So it wasn't able to be done. So we got the John Pond bunker rake. The DPW has hired the new people. So they had time to look it over and make sure it was good. So they did that. So that bunker rake is sitting at the DPW all ready to go back to John Pond Park. 2 issues. We don't have any way to put it at John Pond Park
No, because the building got torn down.
because the building got torn down. And with no plan, so there's no new building. But hopefully the engineering plan and we'll get grants, whatever. You know the story. And who's going to do it if it's over there? So Frank from the DPW said that it didn't matter to him whether our DPW staff goes over and does it or if somebody from softball wanted to do it. So then they would have to sign a waiver. So then our town administrator is looking into getting the waiver. So then I went to softball and he said that they would rather not use our equipment, especially if it's not good enough. So, as it stands right now, that bunker rake is waiting to go to John Pond Park as soon as we find somewhere to put it. I have to measure the bunker rake to see if it'll fit in their shed, and if it doesn't fit in their shed, then we're just back to square one, sitting it in the maintenance shed. So the question was, who do you want? Are you going to authorize softball to use it? But softball decided they don't want to use it. Josh is going to have to go and use it. So that's the story there. We don't have to vote on anything because we don't know what's going to happen.
And it would only be the DPW that would use it.
Right, so Josh,
Yeah.
yeah. Because all of our equipment, the only people who use our equipment are the DPW staff, except for the golf carts, we can use those. And for certain equipment, you have to have a license to use them. So only Josh is certified to use all of our equipment that we have here at Ted Williams Camp. Discuss and possible vote on possibly applying for Arts Council grants. So, the Arts Council has grants that they get from the state. They get money to award grants. So, I really wanted to do Music in the Pines this year, but it didn't get off the ground in time. So, we have $300 that we raised from Lakeville Day to put towards that. And if we apply for a $1,000 grant or $800 grant from the Arts Council to bring in music, that would give us 3 weeks, and then we would kick in the extra week to have Music in the Pines for every week for the month of June. Is that something you guys are interested in doing or not interested in doing? We don't want any more stuff here at Ted Williams Camp. Our heads are ready to explode.
I think it sounds nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds nice.
it does sound like a good idea.
Okay, so I'll apply for that. That everything's October. That's the beginning of October too. I just came across it.
Do we need to vote on it?
Discuss and possible vote. Yep, because it says we can.
I'll make a motion for us to apply for Arts Council grant to assist with Music in the Pines in the amount of $1,000.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So that'll be good if we can get that. Okay, discuss and possible vote on selling chairs formerly used at Loon Pond Lodge. So I don't know, Carrie, were you here when we had that discussion and moved the chairs, or was that before your time?
I don't remember that. No.
So, Cranberry Catering, formerly known as Boston Tavern, at Loon Pond Lodge, has been there for 4-5 years. So when they came, they brought in their own chairs. So all the chairs that were already there got pushed in a storage room. And as they needed more space, then they got pushed outside to a shed. And then they said, we need the shed space. So then they were in our second room. So we took them out and put them in, the rest of them in the second room. And then we took them from the second room and put them out in the snack shack in the middle of Ted Williams Camp. So if you open our concession stand that's out there, it's all chairs. So somebody approached us, so Tuesday, Peter and I happened to be outside, and the event planner from Loon Pond Lodge stopped us and said, hey, Heather just told us that you had chairs. My church is looking for chairs because
Great.
the person who let us use their chairs just came and took them back, so when we have church, we have no chairs. So I said, we'll put it on the agenda, we'll discuss it. So if that is, we can donate them to them, we can possibly sell them to them. I looked it up, and those chairs used range anywhere from $4 to $6 that you can buy them online. So even if we sold them for $3 or whatever, that's only a few $100s, but maybe we put it towards something
Yeah.
specific. However, because nothing is easy, I reached out to the town administrator and I said, hey, I know we have a procedure for disposing of property. I said, we've had these chairs hanging out. They're inside here, they're inside there, they're looking to get a little moldy. I'm like, what do we have to do? And he's like, well, first we have to ask any other department if they need our chairs. And then we have to do a proposal and send it to the select board, and they have to declare all of our chairs as no longer
Surplus.
needed. Yes. And then we can donate them or sell them, as long as it's under $10,000, which they're old moldy chairs. So
Okay.
If that is what you want. When we put them in the shed, we had this discussion then, and it was decided that what if we need those chairs? But Loon Pond Lodge has their contract through the next 2 years, and it's going to go out this winter, probably to see if there's any interest in anybody else taking it over. So they're just going to sign up again because they're booking weddings. So do we
Or the
save the
next-
chairs for another 2.5 years out in the snack shack, or do we just get rid of them?
Or part of the contract
Is
going
bring your own
forward is
chairs.
you must provide the furnishings.
Yeah.
I mean, 2.5 years sitting and getting moldy, that they're probably not going to be usable.
No. Probably not for high-end weddings, I wouldn't think.
No.
Sell them.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great that they approached
Yeah.
it.
All right, so we will get that
I think it's more labor moving them around.
started tomorrow. Yeah. We were seeing how high we could stack them. It wasn't so bad. All right. So we'll get that. Preliminary discussion of league fees for 2026. Seems like we've been here longer than an hour. So I also gave you a couple papers when we got here with what other leagues do. The one that says the DCR, that is for the state, for their Department of something and Recreation. So conservation and recreation. This is how they rent their fields, which I kind of liked it, where it had the time requested and they have the 2 or 3 hour window. And then they know right up front, your light fee is $50. So it's not, you don't have to mail them figure out how much time they use it for. You know you're getting your lights for $50 an hour. They do 3, and a few of these towns did 10-week sessions. Our sessions are 16 weeks. So that's there for you. And then I did a couple local ones. So Bridgewater does 35 for leagues. It's $35 per head. Like we do 25, 24
I forgot what we were.
Yeah. per person. They do 35 or $60 an hour. So if you're only going to use it once, it's just $60 an hour. For a league, the other way is it's $140 for a 2-hour block or $220 with lights. I can put this together and send it all out to you. I don't know what you're thinking, whether you think per head, per hour, if we have to do
So I think
C.
right off the bat, we need to kind of like neutralize everything. I think we need to get rid of that baseball flat fee because it's not fair to the other leagues. And,
Right.
Like
Yeah,
they're
so
making
when
out
they
with
did that,
bandits.
right, and when they
So-
did that flat fee, they weren't using the fields.
Right.
They weren't
so it's
using
just-
it. It was just an emergency situation to
Yeah.
hold it, but
Now they are.
Now they
all
are.
the time, so they should pay
they
like
should
everybody
pay.
else.
Yes.
And then the other thing, just real quick, you weren't here last time when we were going over the electric bills. So it's not just the lights, like the snack shack at John Pond, the bill was like $90 or something for the month. It was
For the
something
month?
kind of surprising. And Scott and I were talking about it, and he's like, "Oh, they probably what do they have plugged in there? And,
Right.
You know, it's like
Fridge or
some old refrigerator, probably. Right.
Right.
That's
Or
not
they
energy
left the lights on.
efficient.
Yeah.
They do pay us
What's-
for that.
Oh, they're paying for it. Okay.
Softball
At the
pays
end-
for
At the
it.
end of the
Okay.
end of the
Yeah.
season, we bill
Okay. Never
softball
mind
for
then.
that.
I was gonna say we should not. We should be billing for that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Good.
No,
good.
so they get the snack shack has its own.
Meter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm sure you've seen the stack, the wad that comes in the beginning of the month. There's like 20 electric bills.
Yeah, we went through those last.
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
It's crazy. So
I
on
like
that same
the
note,
hour part of this,
Billing
like
by
the
hours.
time amount
yeah,
to it. Even when the season is like maybe a day amount, like how many days there are, and that varies the cost a bit.
right. So if you have every daylight hour, it's going to be more than
Yeah,
yeah,
because that was the biggest thing. Like, okay, this group uses it for 4 hours every day. You know, we're paying the same as
Right.
this group that pays, it's one
Yeah.
day a week, but it's a season rate.
yeah. So the other thing I think we need to do is go through the costs of utilizing these fields. Because I know it doesn't seem like much, but we cut the grass 3 times a week. So that's a lot. At John Pond Park, the DPW cuts the grass there. We don't cut the grass there. But we have to send people over twice a week to pick up the trash. Like, it's crazy. And you don't think of it. And like the bunker raking, like, you don't
Right.
think of it. It sounds easy. Just go bunker rake. But it's not.
Right.
There's so many moving parts to everything.
So what you need is like a formula for what it costs to provide fields.
Yeah, or at least get like a rough idea of the cost that it takes to maintain these fields.
Right. That's a very good idea. Yeah.
We've tried to do that. Peter and I both tried to do that in the past. So
Have you thought of reaching out to other towns and asking them if they use a formula?
I haven't asked for their formula, but like I said, I've got a whole list of neighboring towns and what they do, what they charge.
Yeah. Because they
So-
must.
I think
They
it's a
must-
flat fee. Like it's $35 per head or $60 per hour. One of them was $140 or $150, and then an extra $40. No, it was $200 for your first session of 2 to 3 hours, and then $40 for every hour that you want on top of that.
Beyond
But
that.
it's every hour per field. Like, it's not just. So we kind of have to decide what formula we want to go with. But finding out our costs will give us that baseline
Yeah.
of what we need to reach. And then I know jumping ahead, but I wouldn't suggest hiking up our rates like $5 a person, but have like our 5-year plan. Like in 5 years, this is what it's going to be.
Because the costs are going to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to do the math and make sure that changing it to like a per hour basis instead of a per head basis.
Right. So
Would it not crazily hike up their rate?
it might for some, but it's going to lower it for others because softball plays for 3 hours once a week. Like, sorry, not softball. Yeah, no, men's softball.
Yeah. No.
And horseshoes, they pay 2 nights a week, as we know.
That's it, yeah, volleyball type thing.
Yeah. So,
And
that was
only using one small area, or like one court.
Right.
Versus 4 fields. Or something.
right. So at volleyball, the lights, the timer was put. Remember how we keep talking about the timer? So while I was away, they put in the timer. Kind of funny. The outdoor outlet was there, so I was like, "Oh, let me check the volleyball light." So I opened it up, and it's a outside outlet inside the box with the, and so you push it, and it turns on. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And I'm like, "How do I shut it off?" Like this, because it's not a spinny; it's a push. And I'm like, "All right." So it took me so much longer than it should have, unfortunately, to figure out how to shut it off. You have to keep pressing the button, and it cycles through. So it goes 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. So what they're going to have to do is when it gets dark, they go over and they push it, and it goes on for an hour. And then they'll just have to run across the street and push it again.
It would be a good idea to have directions of that right laminated
Yeah, so
in there.
I told them all
Yeah.
the story because that was Monday morning when I went over and I saw it, and then was it Monday night?
It was Monday night.
Yeah, Andrew and I are both there because we got the message,
Yeah.
our lights aren't on. So I'm like, all right. I replied, Andrew replied all, so we both showed up. So I told him the whole story about how you had to push the button. So we worked it out. So it'll work. All right. Liaison updates. Who's got a liaison update? Carrie does.
Yeah, a few, right? So we already talked about the bunker raking. Softball's kind of just, they've been a little upset this year. And this Sabres youth football has been they've been very upset about them. So my understanding when the guy came to our meeting and we met with him, we told him he could have field 4. The old field 4, which is way behind, like back towards the woods, right? And we cautioned it gets wet and muddy back there and mosquitoes and yeah, sounds great. We don't care. It's great. So then softball started complaining to me that every time they go down there, these people are like creeping into field 3, which is the one right behind the batting
Yep.
cage. And I was like, well, they're only supposed to be on field 4, and now they're playing into field 3, they're tearing it up, and then we got that email from the Sabres guy complaining that softball's hitting balls, you know, into where they understand their area to be. So I don't know when that was, like several months ago, you and I pulled out the snow fencing from the shed.
Yep.
So that was put up, and I don't know who the Sabres gentleman said he contacted somebody.
Yeah, I didn't know. And Peter, I talked to him this morning. He said he'd never heard that they were doing fly balls out into there.
No, I don't know. I mean, I'll have to ask softball, like, if the football guy means he talked to softball, but nothing came to, like, me through Parks. But now he's accusing it was, like, a passive-aggressive retaliatory motion for
Yeah,
putting
so
it up.
it sounds like, because the fence was up, like the snow fence, and it didn't seem to be a problem. But the Sabres man also said that now it's further into his area and not on the field. And I meant to go by, but I forgot because of the rain.
I haven't been by since it's been up. I'm not home very much. Like, so, I don't know. But he can't expect it's going to end at the stone dust. I mean, it's a softball field. They need some outfield.
Right.
Field 4 is, I think he doesn't understand where field 4 is.
Right. Yeah, so we should go out and maybe mark it off. Maybe with something other than a snow fence. I don't know. I'll go out there next week and look at it and see if I can talk to him.
Okay. That was all I had.
Yeah, because they give us quite a bit of money. Do we know how many people they have, Peter, off the top of your head? Do you remember?
I thought they gave us $1,000. Isn't that, he said that in the email?
Yeah.
So I have to check and confirm that, but if he said that's what he gave us, and that's probably what
Yeah.
he gave us.
They're hitting fly balls from home plate over.
Yeah.
Oh, good hits. That's good.
Well,
It's yeah.
No,
so it's
I don't
field
think-
3, but I thought field 3 was used by the younger girls younger
it's
kids.
used for practice too.
for
so,
whoever.
It could be like coaches hitting to girls in the outfield.
Do you know
what I mean?
I do
Like,
know what you
to
mean.
practice
So then you
catching
understand his
pop-ups.
passive aggressiveness then, right?
I guess. I just think does he understand where the outfield
Right.
is to that field? It doesn't end
Right.
at the dirt.
Right. So we'll have to go. Right. Have to go to it. Yeah. All right. Anybody else have a liaison update?
Yeah, it was $1,000. Just double checked.
Does it say how many kids he has?
I'd have to go look.
Yeah.
So
No, that's fine.
5,000 by 24 and
40 something.
25, sorry. So, did you say new business?
Not yet. I said liaison updates.
Liaison.
I don't think I have any.
No other updates.
I think that CPA is just, the engineering for John Pond is in the works, as I understand it, so
Yeah.
they're just kind of, waiting for that to get done.
Did they did the invoice get submitted last meeting? Do you remember?
I think they're still waiting on it. They're
Maybe
still
we'll have to
waiting to
check.
see that stuff, but they realize that you've got sports and whatnot going on, but they would like to, of course, see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know. Yeah, Nancy was calling to get that. So we'll have to see. All right. Now
Wasn't
new
there
business.
something, youth soccer?
Yes.
Nothing's come across my desk.
But there was a discussion the last meeting, and I think you weren't here. Something about the water line, like the sprinkler or something needs to be done, and it
Okay.
needs to be done
And
before it
Commissioners
gets.
Fields.
Yeah,
Is that
it
what
needs to
we're
be done
talking?
before
So-
the ground freezes.
I wasn't at last meeting, so
No, but I think it was, we have money for it, right?
Yes.
So it's about spending the money and getting the work done before the ground freezes.
Right. So did Scott say he was taking care of that, or he's not taking care of
You were
that?
here, right? I don't
Yeah,
remember
I
what he
don't
said.
remember. puts them here.
What field is this?
Commissioner's
The new soccer
Fields.
fields.
Commissioner's Field? So,
I mean, he did say he was gonna call somebody, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I guess we just need to re-follow up with Scott on that.
do you want me to email Scott and ask him what's happening with the water line in the soccer field on Commissioner's Field?
No, we'll ask him when he, next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, it can wait.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because they had it all set up, cause that was Mike and Scott did Commissioner's Fields, that was their project.
Right.
So, yeah, I thought it was gonna be done before they started this year, but then we had a problem with a hole in the thing, the water pipes, the sprinklers. There was some crack or whatever, so we had to bring somebody in. But so it didn't get done. So then I thought it was gonna be done in between the things, and it wasn't done. So yeah, if he doesn't take care of it, I'll take care of it. All right, new business. Do we have new business, Peter? There was something and I forget what it is. Yes, I know what it is. The Halloween candy
Halloween,
thing.
Yep,
Do you have that message up? Is that what you just did?
yep. You just
So-
see it.
As soon as we do the agenda, inevitably something comes up. So we turn in the agenda, and then the lady wants to buy the chairs. So Peter has to go in and redo the agenda.
Right.
And then this time, it was yesterday, we get this message, and it says somebody wants to do an event. And it says, this is a free, family-friendly community event to provide local children with a safe and fun Halloween experience. Volunteers will set up 2 to 3 folding tables with bins of candy to hand out to kids. We expect approximately 50 to 100 participants throughout the evening. No fee will be charged, and no athletic fields courts will be used. The setup will be simple with candy tables, a small canopy if needed, and signage. All trash and materials will be cleaned up at the end of the event. Now, this is an event on October 31st from 4 to 8:30. So I can imagine you have questions. So I emailed him today, and I said,
Is this just a random resident?
it's a random resident, because I asked if he was doing it for an organization or just himself, and he said no, it was just himself. He just wanted to provide,
Did you forward me his response?
oh, I don't know, he didn't reply all. I can't say I hate when people do that, because I am the queen of not replying all. So, he's just doing it, it's no business or anything. And I said, are you intending, is it event like a Halloween stop, or are you intending that those who stop by get enough candy, that they don't trick or treat? I'm like, what is happening? So he's like, nope, it's just like a stop. So as they drive around or ride their bikes or walk around, they can just stop at Ted Williams Camp and trick or treat at Ted Williams Camp to 2 to 3 tables.
What is the date of the trunk or treat?
The trunk or treat is Sunday, October 19th.
Okay,
From 3:30 to 4 is sensitivity, and from 4 to 6 is actually trunk or treat. And then I said, I forget what I said. But I said, you're definitely going to need a certificate of insurance, because we can't have people just handing out candy. Oh, I said, are you buying the candy? Where is the candy coming from?
yeah.
And he said, nope, he was purchasing pre-packaged, individually wrapped candy just to hand out. So my feeling is, I sent him all our information for trunk or treat. I said, come and join us. It's a great time.
Yeah. Right.
Um,
Set up a thing then.
Yeah. So I don't know what your pleasure is for this. I mean, it's somebody who probably lives in an apartment who doesn't get trick-or-treaters, which we have trunk or treat, and a lot of people like that come.
I think it's probably like well intended.
I agree.
I think it's odd to do it on Halloween itself, and I think it's kind of puts us in a weird position where it's not a park sponsored event, like someone's going to be at the parks. Like, I personally, like, as a parent, and it's nothing against this individual, that would kind of raise some flags for me. Like, it's not sponsored by the parks, but here's this person that's just here handing out candy. Like,
How about, I
I
like
the idea of the trunk or treat, like getting a table there.
I agree with her. I just combine it into one Halloween event on the 19th.
Yeah.
Say, join us.
Yeah.
Join us.
I think that person
Come,
wants
little
us to-
children.
response.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. I will reach out and reaffirm that for him tomorrow. As I said, trunk or treat, October 19th. I just posted it today on our Lakeville Helping Lakeville and our Park Commission page. And we already have 10 responses, so we'll have at least 10 people. 2 are me. But so I encourage you all to come, whether you want to do your own trunks or whether you want to just come and I have the park. I do one and call it the parks. I also decorate our maintenance vehicle. At first it was just to like see Ryan's reaction, but I decorate that. And then I make my husband come and do a trunk as well. So you're all welcome to bring your own trunks or hang out at one of ours.
Awesome.
Good.
Probably do something.
Okay, any other new business? That's all? Our next meeting is October 9th. Here at 6:30. Is 6:30 still good, or last time was just a
It was
freak
because
thing?
Andrew had a
I
crazy
was-
drive here.
Yeah, I was coming back from Auburn, New York,
Oh,
so that was a day.
I prefer 6:30 if we can. 'Cause
Okay.
I get up at 3 the next day. So.
I'm sorry.
6:30 is good.
All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn at
7:41.
7:41.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned at 7:41. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.